What's up, guys? Today's video is something a little different, and it's actually probably the most requested video that I get, and that is to do a top 5 or my top 5 favorite headphones. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick to top 5 wired headsets, although one's Bluetooth, but it can be used wired. And also, if it's different, I'm going to make sure that all 5 are from different companies. So that way I don't have 2 or 3 Sonys taking up, spaces in the top 5. But I'll also, when I get to Sony, may give, a couple of other ones that I'll also highly recommend. But we're going to do this in a way where I'm down in the little corner of the screen here, and I'll show you the headphones on Amazon. That way you can see them more detailed. I'll tell you about them. These aren't reviews. And again, these are my top 5. So it's not saying that this is the end all be all of all headphones. But anybody were to ask me what headphones I would recommend, these are the 5 I would say. All right, so we're going to start with number 5 and go down the list in that order. Now, these would be the ones that I recommend and in this specific order. So we're going to start with number 5, and we go to the Beyerdynamic Custom 1 Pro. Some people say Beyerdynamic. I'm not sure exactly which way is the right way. But if you look at these headphones, now Beyerdynamic also has a headphone that I highly recommend, the DT770. I'm not going to completely get into those. Those are really good if you're a drummer and they have incredible bass. Now, the Custom 1 Pro are called the custom ones because you're allowed to take out the plates on the ear cups and change them to customize them to whatever look you want. Now, their original retail price it shows here is $300. You can get it for $200. They're built very much like the DT770s, but up here you have the leather ear pad. Everything is built like as out of a metal or aluminum, so it's really strong. The unique feature on these headphones are the little right here, as you can see, it has basically an airlock that you can open it. You can change it to closed ear cans, semi-open, and open design. Now, what that does is it allows you to have this one headphone, but you're able to have a closed back headphone or an open headphone, and it alters the sound in a huge way. In fact, it also allows the air as far as your bass as well. So you can have these things be extremely, extremely punchy. Okay, number 4 on my list is actually, its original retail is $100, but you can get them for under $70, and that's the HyperX Cloud headphones. Now, they have a HyperX Cloud 1, HyperX Cloud 2, and then the HyperX Cloud Core. The only difference in all 3 of them is the second one gives you the option to have 7.1 surround sound in your gaming. But as you can see here, it does kind of gear around gaming because it does have a microphone, but that is detachable. So that's not something you have to have. Now, the headphone cable itself is non-detachable. So that is kind of a drawback for me because I like to be able to take them out when I need to and use different mics if necessary. But as far as comfort goes, these are the most comfortable headphones I've ever tried. And as far as sound, I've learned that with games and with different genres of music, these things are basically the Swiss Army knife. They can do it all. And for under $70, this is impossible to beat. Now, the build quality too, it's leather and it's stitched. So it has this premium feel, but you're not paying like this ridiculous premium price. Also, the materials is an aluminum around it as well. And the ear cups on these, now if you get the HyperX Cloud or the HyperX Cloud 2, it has the leather ear pads, but it also comes with the soft cloth, I think it's like a velour material ear pads that you can change out. Now, the Cloud Core does not come with that feature. But again, under $70, the HyperX Cloud is one of the best headphones you can buy. Okay, so now we are down to number 3 on the list, and number 3 is the VModa Crossfade M100s. Now, I was first introduced to the VModas with the Crossfade LP, and I was blown away. But when the M100s came out, they stepped it up huge. Basically still giving you one of the best cases you'll ever see. Right here, as you can see, it's kind of an exoskeleton that goes around the headphone themselves. So it keeps it like extremely well protected. These are also military grade, so as far as durability, don't have to worry about it with these. The ear pads are this really soft leather, but they also offer an optional accessory to get the XL pads, which is really, really soft. These retail for $300. You can go online and find them used and find them for about $150. And at that price, it's pretty much impossible to beat. Except I've got two ahead of this one. So now we go to number 2. Okay, so number 2 on the list is the Sony MDR XB950BT. Now this is the only Bluetooth headphone on the list, but I put it on there anyway because you can use it in wired mode as well. Now these I've raved about before on the channel. You've even seen the review on this channel. They do not come with a case, which is a downfall. They don't fold down, which is a downfall. But the biggest plus of all is the sound, and the bass is insane, but it never drowns out anything. In fact, it's one of the clearest headphones I've heard. But if you do hit the bass boost button, that's where it gets to be a little much on the bass side. So I don't use it with the bass boost button, but I've found it to be extremely perfect as far as the sound goes. The highs, the mid, the treble, everything sounds extremely well on these. They fluctuate on sale, so right now it's showing $199, which is the original retail price. But I've seen them go down on average to about $129. And if you go on eBay, you can find them for under $100. And at that price, I don't know why you don't own them already. All right, so now we're about to move to number 1. Now, before we get into number 1, since we were at number 2 with Sony, I'm gonna recommend 2 other headphones as well. One is the Sony MDR 1R, which is a really expensive headset, but one of the most comfortable headphones I've ever heard. Now, bass is not strong in these, but they're made to have more of a balanced studio sound, and they completely blew me away. Also with Sony, my everyday headphone that I use is the Sony Pulse Elite. Yes, they're a gaming headphone that offers 7.1 surround sound, but with the USB dongle, you can plug it into the computer and listen to it wirelessly, plug it into the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 and use it wirelessly. And it also comes with a cable, so you're able to use it to any device that you want. And it has a bass slider that can get pretty insane. Alright guys, so the number 1 headphone on my list shouldn't be a surprise because it's number 1 on a lot of people's lists. And there's a reason for that. This is the AudioTechnica ATHM50X. Now, they also have the ATHM50 and the ATHM50S. And the only difference between them is the regular M50 is a coiled cable that you see most of the time in recording studios. The M50S is a straight cable, but it is still extremely long. And the M50X, this is the newer model, is a detachable cable. These have an impressive 45mm driver that it gives you this studio feel, but it gives you so much punch in the bass department that most studio monitor headphones don't give. So what that allows you to do is plug it into a computer, use it for gaming and still be able to feel explosions, and also plug it into your headphones and feel bass thumping, but also hear everything else with this perfect balance of music that is so hard to explain. In fact, it's so hard to duplicate because I haven't heard any other headphones like the M50X that's been able to do it like they have. And basically able to give you a studio monitor headphone that is so universal to use with anything that's why the AudioTechnica ATHM50X is at the top of the list. Again, this was just a quick video just to answer questions because I always get the question of what are your favorite headphones? What headphones should I get? Now I do say this, everybody's taste is different. So with my top 5, it may not be on anybody else's top list, even if they've listened to it. Everybody has a different ear to what they hear and what they like. So this was just my recommendation. I hope it helped you guys out. I really appreciate all the support you guys have been given, and make sure to stay tuned for more.